Hello, everyone. Here for a rousing day of board gaming on ZOE Game Night. It's not Valentine's Day yet, but I'm here with somebody that I care about. Doug from Terracrux Games. Terracrux is a great local game store that really values community and inclusivity as much as we do. He's been running it for many years because it's his shop. And he's lucky enough to be awesome and come down here and join us on our awesome team and play some board games. So tonight, we're going to play two-player games because there's two of us. Sharon is here as our technical director, but she can't play because she's a technical director, so she's busy. So it's going to be us. We're going to play some games. The first games we're going to be starting with are Patchwork, a really cool two-player game by Uwe Rosenberg, who also did Caverna. He probably also did some other things. And Agricola. I always called it Agricola.
I don't know which one.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's one of them.
I like it. It's a good game.
Yeah.
So he did those two. Then we're going to also play some Hive. We got the black and white version because it looks cool. It's called Carbon. I don't know why.
Oh, the Carbon version is black and white.
Why? Why is it called Carbon?
The original version is yellow tiles with colored insects and black tiles with colored insects. So the ants are the same color. The Carbon version is white tiles with black insects and black tiles with white insects. It's just black and white, so it's the Carbon version.
Explain to me why it's Carbon.
Fossilization.
Sounds good. We're going with fossilization.
Fossilization.
So first game we're going to be starting with Patchwork. So I'll give a quick rundown of that. So we have our own personal boards where we're trying to make the most beautiful quilt. We have a lot of random scraps of fabric. And so we're going to purchase those with buttons and we're going to place them on our board. As we do that, our timepieces are going to move around until we get to the end and we're out of time. Whoever's timepiece is behind the others gets to go. So we're going to be switching back and forth a lot because maybe I'll be going, maybe he'll be going, but maybe he gets ahead of me, so I get to go again. I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. So this game says the last person to touch a needle gets to go first. So when's the last time you touched a needle?
I'm not even 100% confident the last time I touched a needle.
Okay. I haven't touched a needle in a while, but a needle touched me because I went and got a tattoo. I have sleeves, and so I get them worked on. So that's what happened.
You wanna show the camera where the needle touched you?
I mean, it's actually this bracelet that I got done that goes up on my hand. So, I mean, got that. Got some words.
It's clear that you were first player then.
It is true. I am the first player. So, the tiles that I'm allowed to purchase are the 3 tiles in front of this little dude. I can't remember what his name is. I'm going to call him Steve. So Steve is looking at these 3 tiles, and those are the ones I'm allowed to purchase. On each tile, there is a number of buttons. That'll be how much it costs to purchase. There's also a little hourglass that says how many spaces I have to move forward.
How long it took to sew the piece of fabric.
Exactly. So if I wanted to purchase one of these, I could. My other option would be to move forward to 1 space ahead of the other player. I then get buttons equal to how many spaces I've moved. But since we're so close, I don't think that's worth it. So I'm going to spend 2. 1, 2. Move him forward. I'm going to grab the tile that I want, which is this little tile here. It's 1 by 2. I'm going to place it on my board down here. Then he's going to slide forward into that space that I just made. Now, since there's 1, I move my pawn ahead 1. That's my turn. How's it going, Actual Dracus?
So for my turn, Steve can only see ahead of him 3 spaces.
Steve.
And I can choose one of these 3 tiles. It's hard for you guys to see, but one of the tiles costs 7 buttons. Actually, 2 of them cost 7 and 1 costs 5. I only have 5 buttons.
We start with 5.
Yeah, we start with 5. Steve then is telling me he's eyeballing that 5 cost tile. So I'm going to spend all 5 of mine and pick up this guy.
Steve's so
I'm gonna
eyebally.
Put him directly in the center of my board. And then Steve is going to slide into where that tile was, and that's going to represent where Steve's at. And this tile, the one that cost me 5 buttons, requires 4 hourglass movements, as it were. So my green token piece moves 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want to appreciate Bryce really quick, my Valentine for the evening, as green is my favorite color, and he's allowed me to use that piece for this game. So thank you, Bryce.
I knew that. I totally knew that.
And then that moves to Bryce's turn.
All right. So the 3 that Steve can see, I'm going to purchase this red one, which has cost of 2. No. And also 2 movements. So slide Steve to his new home. I'm going to put it here because that's one really cool thing is you can move the tiles whatever way you want, and you can just put them on your board somewhere. It has a movement of 2, so I'm going to go 1, 2. And that's where normally in most board games I would say it's your turn, Doug. But wait, in Patchwork, I get to go again because I'm the furthest one behind. Unfortunately, all these other tiles are way more expensive than my 1 button broke self can afford. So I'm just going to move forward. So I moved forward 2 spaces, so I'll get 2 buttons. And then also I pass one of these sweet button icons, which means I get 1 button for all the buttons on my board. I don't have any buttons on my board. So I'm just going to get two buttons. Now it's Doug's turn.
So for my turn, I have no buttons. I can't spend anything. So I'm going to choose to spend my action to move ahead, which just like Bryce is 2 spaces. And the reason it's 2 is you move your little token 1 space ahead of the other player. And I also happen to pass the same button tracker. So in this case, I gain 2 for moving 2 spaces ahead, and my board has got a tile on it that has 2 buttons represented. So I actually gain 4 buttons for my turn. And then that's my entire turn.
Yeah.
Bryce.
Can you actually sew?
And I can use a sewing machine, and I can sew leather. But fabric by hand, I've never tried.
Okay.
I can sew buttons. Something because I've broken enough buttons on my clothing that I can do a button.
I'm wasteful, I think, because I just like, oh, I broke a button. It's all garbage.
It's all
I throw it away. I can't use this anymore. Sharon is the sewing one in our household, and she also says, I'm not fixing your things. So I'm like, oh, and I look at it and I go, throw it away. Then I go buy new pants. Rather, I donate the other ones because I'm a jerk. I donate with the button in the pocket at least, but yeah. All right, so I've got 3, and Steve is looking at a thing. But you know what? I actually do like this 3. So I'm going to move Steve ahead. I'm going to pay my 3 buttons. I know it's easy, Voodoo. Yeah. That's the worst part. I'm just really lazy. Like, so something you didn't know about me, the way me and Doug actually first met was that we're both real big nerds. So we met on a LARPing field. And so I have a lot of LARP gear, a lot of foams weapons and skirts and garb and a lot of stuff like that. But I don't sew any of it. So I just get like old clothes and then just let them go to tatters because I chose to personify a monster. That way I don't have to worry about looking good. So I just kind of stink and wear vests.
That is how I learned to sew, was making tunics and stuff like that.
See?
That's exactly how I learned to sew.
So by the way, I'm going to take this piece. I'm going to put it on my board. I'm going to put it up over here. So now it's right there.
All right, on my turn, Steve's hanging out here. He can see these 3 pieces.
Oh, wait, sorry. One more thing, because I'm dumb. I got to move forward 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So this is intriguing. These are the exact same piece, except one has 2 buttons on it.
Interesting.
And moves me 6 tiles.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I'm going to take it and see what
Do
happens.
it.
So I'm going to spend all 4 of my buttons. I'm going to purchase. Steve's going to eyeball this piece. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this on my board here. And that's going to shoot me ahead 6 spaces.
God, that's so many spaces.
1, 2, 4,
They got
5,
rid of
6.
like home ec class voodoo like right when I was in high school. So I had like I saw other people take it, but instead I had options of weird sciences like horticulture. So like I took plant growing class, but they didn't give me the option to learn how to do home ec stuff. I had to learn on the hard knock streets, which is why I don't do it. Because they taught me nothing on the streets.
So I passed the blue button on the table,
Okay.
which allows me to draw a button for each one of my boards. So I drew
Yeah.
4 buttons.
It's a lot of
But
freaking buttons.
you're probably also going to take a turn or two before
I probably am,
Yeah.
maybe, but I have 0 buttons, so I literally
Well,
have to go ahead.
and you're
of
going to
you.
gain the same 4 buttons, actually. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. No, you'll gain 5 buttons.
Yeah, more buttons for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get 4 buttons for that, and then I pass the super button, and I only have 1 button on my board, so I get 5. Just gonna grab a 5 token for convenience right now. So Voodoo, I learned to cook because I like ended up having to be like a prep cook because that's just life. Sharon says I'm a pretty good cook. I do most of the cooking in the household. She fixes things. Oh, okay. Oh, so since it's Valentine's Day, I figure make Sharon blush. So the way me and Sharon first met is that she owned a game store down in Portland.
That's right. I remember that.
And so I started to go there, and I was like, man, this chick who owns this game store is pretty attractive,
Pretty awesome.
but she shares the same last name as this other guy who works there. They're probably married. But whatever, not being a creeper or not being weird, I'm just like, I'll just be friends with everybody because that's what you should do when you're trying to meet people. Is just be friends. So I was like, cool. The guy didn't like me. Whatever. So, but I brought them food. I brought them dinner that I had helped make. So I brought them. Sharon, what did I bring you?
It was a dessert, like peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but it had like Nutella and banana on it.
I don't think that was it.
I hope it was, because that
because
sounds
you were super
awful.
upset because I
It's really good, but it
secretly
wasn't that.
gave it away because I don't like either Nutella or bananas.
I thought it was the red chard.
That was the second thing.
Oh, okay. So I brought her a sandwich, which she didn't like because she doesn't like sweet things. Things I learned. And guys, can you hear what she said? I know they were supposed to get her a god mic, but I don't know if that happened. No? Maybe? Yes? Can they hear you, Sharon? Am I just talking to the
I
ether?
can hear myself.
I don't care if you could hear yourself. Can you hear? Okay. See? Murky didn't hear it. And see? Okay. So I apparently brought her a grilled cheese sandwich from this
Okay.
fancy grilled cheese sandwich place.
In Portland?
In Portland.
Peanut butter
It was
and jelly.
a peanut butter and jelly sandwich place. They did fancy peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And it was like Nutella and bananas and something. And it was delicious if you're into that kind of thing, which I am. See, that Pax is relating. I gave it to her, then she got upset. Or I got upset because she gave it away. But then the next time I brought her, I think it was grilled. What's that wood people put salmon on?
Cedar.
Yeah, I think it was cedar planks.
Yeah.
Cedar plank salmon with like
What?
smashed red potatoes and chard.
So cedar plank salmon with smashed red potatoes and sautéed red chard. So that was the second thing I cooked and brought to her. And then I found out the guy whose last name she had was her brother. So I was like, I've done well. Pax, I make so many that I can't remember them all.
No, it's a fantastic story. Haley and I actually met in my game store,
Excellent.
which is usually something I don't do. I don't want to be that guy that's creepy. It's like, oh, there's the owner of the game store, and he's gone out with 3 or 4 of the customers. No, I'll pass.
Yeah, that's not a good look for anyone.
She came in to meet up with some friends to play Commander. And then when she showed up, she realized she was there like 3 hours early.
Wow.
And then went to go leave. And she's like, she just got up, and it was weird. She seemed very aggressive going out the door. So, because she was frustrated she showed up early.
Fair.
So then I stopped her. I was like, hey, you know, is everything all right? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm going to go get something to eat. And I was like, cool, where are you going? And she gave me this look like I was totally inviting myself.
Oh.
And so I leaned back and I was like, I was just going to suggest something. I haven't seen you in here before. You know, so she was like, okay. And then I suggested De Loretto's in downtown Tacoma. It's a fantastic little sandwich shop down the street from me. And then she went and got a sandwich and came back. And then we started talking. And then we played a game, which is really interesting because I don't play Magic really at all. Not that I have anything against it. It's just not my jam when it comes to games. And so we played a game. And about that time, customers started showing up and the store started filling up. And everybody was standing around the table watching me play. So like, oh, you're actually playing a game. And then she ended up coming back the next day. And we played again. And we were virtually inseparable for like 3 months before we even had the conversation. Hey, maybe we should go out on a date or something.
We hang out so often.
And that was like when we finally decided to go on our first date. That was like 2 years and 8 months ago.
Oh, that is adorable.
So,
Haley, are you in chat?
I have no idea. Probably not.
I don't know what waxies are, by the way. Like, I agree, russets are for baked potatoes, and I think that red ones are the best mashed potatoes. We're gonna keep talking. Yeah. Doug, it's your turn. No, seriously, sandwiches. That's what it's about. There's a reason why that's
2 pieces.
All right. Get you that 2-piece. There's a reason, Pax, why I always ask people what their favorite sandwich is, because A, it's good knowledge, and B, people like sandwiches.
What is your favorite sandwich, Bryce?
My favorite sandwich is a.
It's your turn.
Thank you, sir. My favorite sandwich is a Philly cheesesteak. Usually I'll load it. I apologize for anyone from Philadelphia because I know this is wrong. Looking at the camera. I'm sorry. That one? Is there a red light? Where's the red light? The tall one? Oh. There it is. Hey, red light. So I'm sorry for anyone from Philadelphia. I'm just sorry. Okay, I put mushrooms on it. I put onions on it. I put green peppers on it. And then I'll just load that poop up with all the cheese. I don't care what kind of cheese.
Whiz, right?
I'll do cheese whiz. I'll do provolone. I'll do pepper jack. I have it any which way with cheese.
As long as the whiz, that's.
Oh no, whiz is really good.
paramount.
It was really good. My biggest issue is when people call it a Philly cheesesteak, but then it's just really just like sliced steak. It's like, no, this is a steak sandwich. It's not a Philly cheesesteak because you're not doing a chop on it. You're lying to
You
me.
gotta have the whiz.
Yeah. Well, it's not even about the whiz. It's about the chop of the steak, fam.
Philly cheesesteak. It's the chop and the whiz. If you don't have
the
whiz, man.
You know what? I'll take both, but what's more important is the chop for me. Because you could put cheese whiz on a steak sandwich, and it's just a steak sandwich. It's not a Philly cheesesteak.
I agree.
But what about you? Oh wait, I didn't take one. While you're talking, I'll take my turn.
I have never thought about this, but my son orders a grilled cheese pickle jelly sandwich from De Loretto's, and they call it, so it's a grilled cheese peanut butter and jelly pickle sandwich.
Wait, did you say grilled cheese, peanut butter, and jelly?
Grilled cheese, peanut butter and jelly pickle sandwich, all on the sandwich. He orders it. They call it the Link down at De Loretto's.
I don't know how to feel about this. I feel awkward and strange, like somebody hurt me, like in my sandwich spot. So I'm gonna grab this one. It's gonna move me ahead 2. It costs 3, so I changed in my 5 for these 2, and then I'll go ahead 2. Boop boop. But now, since I'm on top of,
if you can see the board, guys, if at any point in the game the player should end up on the same space, the players whose turn just happened ends up on top of the player whose turn has not just happened. And in this case, Bryce is on top, making him the next player.
Sorry, I had to catch up because I didn't realize PAX was so close to Philly that I want real Phillies in my heart so bad. All right, so I've got 2 left. Looking at Steve, there's not a whole lot he could do. Oh, there's some things. I like what's going on here, Steve. All right, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to purchase this one. I'll place it in here. Then it advances me 2. 1, 2. I pass another little button. I only get 2 buttons.
All right, for my turn, guys, there's a really fancy piece here. It's a giant H. It's going to cost me 2. I'm going to purchase that one.
Grilled cheese is really good, Dracus. Like,
that's going to advance me 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pass the fancy button, which will net me 5
so many buttons.
buttons off my
Buttons
board.
everywhere.
Yeah, I just can't get enough of them. It's a good thing I know how to sew them.
Oh.
And that makes it Bryce's turn.
Excellent. There's this one grilled cheese place that I like to go with Sharon sometimes. It's just down at this little farmer's market, and the grilled cheese is okay. But what they do is they take a huge slab of Parmesan and wrap the entire sandwich in like a wrap of Parmesan. I have really high blood pressure, and I can feel my heart thicken. And I'm just like, this is everything I want in the world. I've made mistakes.
Coat your veins with a penetrable goop.
It's, I'll die, but I'll die fat and happy on cheese.
There's a gourmet.
I'm going to go ahead because I don't have enough money to buy anything that Steve's looking at. And I don't like what I could buy. Steve. Wait, no, I'm a liar. I'm just going to go 1, 2, and he's going to look at this.
Because that's free.
Because it's free. I have to move ahead 3, but, I'm okay with that. So I'm going to put it right there. Steve takes a spot. Then I go 1, 2, 3. But beer cheese? Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So, on the topic of arteries, beer cheese is a thing I love a lot. And so whenever we go out, I check and see if there's a thing with beer cheese.
Is that 5? That's 10.
Oh, 10.
That's 10.
Holy smokes. I will dip anything in beer cheese. Anything. Like, my favorite side order is give me a bunch of broccoli and beer cheese. I'll eat plates of that for days. I like to feel like I'm healthy, but know that I'm not because I'm eating beer cheese.
It's your turn, Bryce.
All right, so I got 3. No, still don't like them.
So I guess you guys on chat, where do you plan on taking your significant others for Valentine's Day dinner?
No, you don't have to. It's okay.
Yeah, it depends.
I hope they're okay.
I'm not doing Valentine's Day dinner till next
me
week.
either.
Me and my girl have 0 interest in all of the, just mayhem. That happens.
Yeah, it is crazy. So I don't know if you've ever. Is it too rude to talk about places we're gonna go eat, Sharon? Since they can't go eat them. Sharon says no, so I'm gonna do it. So there's this place on Ruston Way, if you're ever in Washington/Tacoma, called the Stack.
Oh yeah, Stack 253.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Isn't it 471?
It's
571.
571.
Oh, I'm thinking 253 because of the area code here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. We're all on the same page then. It's amazing. They have a burger of the month. That's what we're going to go get. I don't know when. It's going to be great. I don't want that 3. No, I do want that 3.
I figured you did.
I didn't, I was like, do I want it? I don't know if I want it. I'm going to drop in here. 3. Boop. And then I'll move my guy ahead 3. 1, 2, 3. And now I have 4 buttons on the board. There's nothing wrong with that, Pax. I will be in PJs by 8 tomorrow as well. And it will be glorious. What kind of pasta?
I am contemplating whether or not which of those 2 pieces I want because I can't pay for the 10.
Well, yeah. Oof. I mean, this one has 3, but you're paying 7 for it.
Which I'm content with.
Yeah.
Actually, so here's a question for you.
Yeah.
When you get one of these tiles, the single pieces, do I have to place them at that time?
Let's double check. Take the special patch and place it on your quilt board immediately.
Okay, there's the answer. So in case you guys didn't catch that, all over the board, there are these special single tiles. And whoever passes that tile first gets that single. So nowhere else on the board do one square tiles exist. So I'm trying to figure out for me whether I want to get this guy, but I'm not 100% sure. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll gain a bunch of buttons back. So
yeah,
I'm
either
gonna
way.
go ahead and buy that for 3.
The 3 one?
Yep.
All right, boop.
And then now the next question, do you immediately gain these tiles? Or gain these buttons like...
Yeah, because the way it goes is, for everyone, maybe probably a jerk on my part for not saying it. So you take and place a patch. Okay. So you choose a patch.
Yes.
You move Steve, the neutral token.
Correct.
You pay for the patch. You place the patch on your quilt board, and then you move your time token.
Well, all right. So my time token moves 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, netting me this cool little piece, which I'm going to place right there on the tile I just purchased. And because I crossed the blue tile, I'm going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tokens back.
So you're aware, everyone, you win with large amounts of buttons. I am not winning right now.
Large amounts of buttons, but at the end of the game, for each square that you don't have,
-2.
you get -2 points for every single square that doesn't have.
Yeah, that's
any
so
patch on it.
crazy.
So my pile of buttons may not help.
It may not, but we'll just have to see. All right, so I'm going to select the tile I want, move Steve, pay my 1 button, put this tile in, boop, then move myself 3 spaces forward. So 1, 2, 3.
Which makes it Bryce's turn again.
Ha ha! See what I did there, everyone? I still only have 3 though, so I'm doing what I can, team. Let's see.
I used to get up fairly early for work. I worked a few towns over for years. So I'm just reading so I used to get up pretty early for work and stuff like that. And nowadays, thankfully, my schedule doesn't start really early. So I'm usually just up with my kid, and that's about 7 o'clock in the morning. And then so my nighttime is pretty late anymore because I can stay up real late and get work done and still get up just fine.
My wake up is like 3 a.m. So it's rough. It's real rough.
Not me.
Game nights. All right, guys. I don't like my options, so I'm just gonna 1, 2 and get 2 buttons.
Interesting.
I just don't like what's going on there.
Okay, I'm going to spend 8 buttons.
Jeez.
I'm going to grab this guy here.
Okay.
To place there. And then I'm going to move 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which is going to net me this guy. Down and put it here. Wait.
I used to be a night owl, and I used to like be up all the time, but so many different jobs are like, hey, wake up early. And I'm like, I don't want to, but I also like having a place to live. So my timetable has shifted a lot.
That moved me 6, right? 1,
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I thought I didn't cross the blue button.
No, yeah.
I thought for a half second I was cheating.
Yep. No, it's all good.
I am not. It is now your turn.
Excellent. Well, Steve.
So guys, have you played any good 2-player games that isn't one of these 2? Or there's a whole myriad of fantastic 2-player games. One I was going to bring down tonight is Lost Cities. Very good. We couldn't quite... There's a mechanic where we can't see each other's hands, and we didn't quite figure out how to be able to show you guys our hands while playing the game at the same time. So we didn't get to do that, but that's a really good 2-player game. Seven Wonders Duels is really good. Is there anything that you guys like to play 2-player.
5.
And Bryce is on top again.
And I cross the button, so I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which...
And you probably cross the button again.
I know.
So, yeah, that's...
I know, but what do I do now? I'm trying to...
Claustrophobia was a really good game that came out of France. It's a board game, a tactical miniatures game. It's one of those games that's good and depressing at the same time. Our store brought it in. Really good game. Did not sell well at all. I'm not sure entirely why, but maybe it was because it's kind of a tactical miniatures game. You guys are playing against each other.
Yeah, that hurts sometimes.
But yeah, no, Claustrophobia was a great game. Quirkle's also really good.
I like Quirkle a lot. There's a game I can't remember. It is, you pull tiles from a bag and they have like different movements on them. It's kind of like the Duke.
Oh, okay. Do you guys know anything about, have you guys heard of Duke? Imagine a chess-style game where you've got these wooden tiles that on the top of them, it would show like the chess move. But after you move the piece, it flips over and becomes a different piece. Really interesting game, and you can choose to either move a piece or play a piece from your bag. So you build your army and throw it in a bag, and then it's random what you're going to get. That game was a lot of fun.
I really like the Duke. All right, so I bought this one for 7. It's going to move me ahead 2 spots, which just puts me go 1, 2. I pass another button, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Small World is fantastic, and it's one of the
I really like Small World.
Small World did something that I realize a lot of games can't do it, but the board. You've got a 2-player board and then an attachment for more players.
Yeah.
Azul does that really well. There's
Azul
a lot
does
of
it
games
really
that
cool.
do. Yeah. Small World is probably one of my top 10 games.
It's really fun.
Oh man, King of the Hill, the game. It's a really good game. So Steve is hanging out here.
Yep, Steve's hanging out right there.
Okay, what do I want to do then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's a 5er.
Looks like 5.
And it moves me. Oh, it only moves me 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, that actually might work out.
Oh yeah, because you get to go again.
7, because then I get to go.
Yeah.
Again. So let me think for a second. 1,
What?
2, 3.
We talk about mango and sweet sticky rice. Why you got to make me hungry here, Voodoo?
I'll do that. Steve,
I don't even like mango, but I love sweet sticky rice.
Steve will stash this piece for 7. And then I'll move 1, which will keep it my turn.
Yep.
And then Steve is going to eyeball this piece here for another 7.
Yep, I knew it.
That's going to move me.
It hurts.
1, 2, 3, 4, which is going to allow me to snag this to fill in this slot. And then I'm going to put that here. Let's do that. That's going to move me 4 places ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to net me 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13 buttons.
Yeah, that definitely would, like, that's super carb heavy. I don't know, Sharon. What is it? Whatever. It'll power your crazy metabolism. Mango and sweet sticky rice.
Yeah, that's like basically just carbs.
Man, I want some sweet sticky. Man,
I make a lot of rice.
I
like rice.
Rice is my #1 go-to meal,
I think the majority of my intake is rice, chicken, and vegetables,
which is good.
and
Like-
beer.
All right. I mean, it's still good.
I
It's still good.
yeah.
You can't fight it. All right. What do I need to do here? I need to get some of that there patch. So,
Oh,
all right.
patches. Those single patches are really nice. Let me
There.
tell you.
Oh, I bet they are 3 out of 5.
I'm fighting for those ones.
I know. All right. So Steve's gonna go forward. He's gonna look at that guy. I'm gonna get 1 back for my changing in 5 because it costs 4. Then it'll move me ahead 2. 1, 2. And now it's my turn again. So now I need to go forward enough to get. Oh no, actually I could hop, skip, and jump a lot. So I'm gonna hop, skip, and jump. So I'm going to spend
2, 3, 4.
2. Nah, I thought about it.
That'll get you more buttons, and it'll
I know.
still be your turn.
I know.
Oh yeah, I'm just.
I know. I got you, fam. Thank you. I'm going to spend 2 because I'm going to go look at this red piece, brown piece with all the hearts on it, just for you.
Oh, it's important. Yes.
Little hearts. All right, so I'm going to put that one right here. That'll move me ahead 2 spaces. So it's my turn again.
Of course.
I'm going to, I have, ooh, I had thoughts. So I'm going to spend 2, because I'm going to go get this other one with hearts. That's my new strategy, everyone. Hearts for days.
Hearts for days.
So 1, 2 will get me this one, which moves me ahead 2. 1, 2. So I get now money from the buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's my turn again. So now Steve is looking at some weird stuff. What you gonna do, Steve? So I got looking at these 3. I think I only have one choice because it's the weirdest shape in the world. So I'm gonna spend 2. 1, 2 to buy this nice purple piece.
So flip that one over. No, flip it over. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Check this out.
Yeah, how it goes different sides.
Yeah. You can slide that guy right there.
That
Oh man. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
it's
sorry.
crazy. No, isn't it cool? Like I was like, oh, so I can put this guy right here. But also, that puts me forward to 1, 2.
Mhm.
So now I get a sweet leather patch. That's pretty much how I play, Sharon, which goes here. Now, because I am the first one to get a 7x7 square, I get extra bonus points.
Oh, you're the first one to complete a 7x7. Shh, that's cool.
I'm sorry if I did not make that clear.
No, totally. That's neat.
And then that was my turns.
So is that 7 points? Or?
Yeah, just 7 points.
Cool. Okay, what do I want to do?
Okay, now I'm going to move these closer so we can see better what Steve is looking at. It's not my fault, Zombie Orpheus, whoever that could possibly be. Technical director, Sharon Chase Bebop. You can give me a heart, but it means nothing. So a strategy that I usually have that Sharon really doesn't like is that I'll try to build a loop into most of the things that I do. That way I take all the turns, or I just loop everything over and over again.
Filthy cycling.
Yeah, I cycle hard.
Oh, wait. Did you move my guy instead of yours?
Yes, I did.
Are you actually here and you don't get that patch?
No, because I moved it twice. Because you were here, right?
I was. Well, that's so funny.
You were right here next to it, or were you right here?
I think I was there.
Right here?
No, I think I was here.
Okay.
So what was your, well, make this easy. What was your last piece?
2.
So 1, 2.
And then the one before that was 2. And then the one before that was the other heart piece, 2.
Yeah, so.
And the one before that, because I took 4 turns.
So 1, 2. So did you end up actually getting that piece?
Yeah, I was right. Right one after it.
Cool. Okay. And then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Play to win.
3, 6, 8, 10, 12.
I do like to win games.
15.
But then I like to build cool combos after I win.
That is my entire turn. Your turn.
Okay.
So Steve also moves here.
All right, Steve. Oh, no, you're good. So, as I said, my favorite tactic. Can I even place that piece? Yes. So I'm going to spend Steve's gonna look at this pink one. I'm gonna spend 4, get 1 back to place this. Here. I think here. Doesn't matter. So that'll move me ahead 2. 1, 2. Then still my turn. Steve looks ahead. Steve cries because there's not a lot for him to do.
There is not a lot.
And I can't buy the piece I want. So one, get you there, get you ahead, 4, get you there.
What are you thinking?
Oh, good call, good call. So I'm thinking if I just move ahead of him and get some coins, then he'll be able to get the next patch. Unfortunately, I don't have enough money to get anything but this one piece. But that'll put me on top of him. That means I get to go again, and I also pass a button, so I'll collect money, which means I can get the next patch. Which I think has to be the play. I won't have a lot of other spaces to do anything, but I don't think he will either, because the pieces are getting weirder and weirder shaped. So I'm going to buy the 3. I'm going to buy this green one, because it costs 3, and it lets me move ahead 1. So I'm going to put it right, thank you, sir, here. Then put me ahead 1. So now I passed the button. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I get 8. Then I can look at these pieces, cry a little.
Yeah, because you can't do anything.
I can't do anything with them. So I'm just gonna
Get 1 button.
yeah, 1 button.
Okay.
Woo!
I'm going to, on my turn, spend 10. I'm going to take this piece right next to Steve. I'm going to slide this guy right in.
Yeah.
And then that's also going to push me forward 4 slots.
Yep.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to net me this piece of fabric that I will place here. Let me check. Because you're not going to be able to do anything.
Nope.
But jump ahead. Well, yeah, that's right. So you're so. I can stick with.
I have
Yeah, I'll just stick this guy.
1 piece on the board I can purchase.
Okay, so for me, that's the end of my turn.
To my turn, I will jump ahead of him and gain 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll put 1 back and gain a 5.
Okay,
That's my turn.
it becomes my turn again, and there's 1 tile I can purchase for 1.
It's interesting that like
And
he
that's
just okay. I was saying it feels like he gets stuck, but
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Because you're gonna, even if there's nothing we
Yep.
can both purchase, we're gonna keep jumping past each
Yeah.
other, which is in turn going to, and then that's
get
gonna,
us points.
that's gonna put me at the end. So I'll count up my buttons here, and then that makes it since
My
you
turn.
can't buy
Well,
anything-
Steve goes here.
Yes.
Then I can buy this piece.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Cool.
So then I will buy that 1 piece for 7. It will put me ahead to the end of the track. I will gain coins for that buttons. And that gets me 11 points. See you, Voodoo. So now comes the mathy part, but it should be pretty easy math because we're both at the end. So now all of our points are the buttons, but it's -2
Yeah.
for every space that we have unfilled, which hurts.
I'm now at a negative score.
Oh
I'm
no!
at -2, 4, 6, 7. I'm -7 points.
I'm not that bad. So because I got the first one, the first 7x7 square, I get 7 extra points, but I'm also -6. So I'll just take 1 and replace it. So I'm at 18 points.
And I'm at -7.
Good game, sir.
Yes, good game. Good game.
So that's Patchwork. I think it's pretty cool.
Great game.
It's really interesting. I really like the circle around and like having all the options there available. I really like the choice that they use for fabric because it really does feel like this is just random scraps that your grandma had laying around. Like, oh, I made some cute little pajamas for you. Look at these hearts. Like, why, Grandma? Why? But now you have 2 yards of heart fabric that you're just like, well, what am I going to do with these hearts? Well, why do I have this in my life? So I think it's pretty cool.
This game is excellent. Really, really good.
I don't know if it won any awards. It probably should have. I know that people sold me on it for a long time. So now for something completely different, because why not? My thought is we'll play some of these games that we have, and then we'll ask you guys what one you want to see us play again. We'll keep talking about random crap because... Oh, Dracus, your grandmother sounds lovely and adorable. Come here, sweet cheeks. Let me pinch your face. All right, so we're going to put this away. The next game we're going to play is called the Hive. The Hive is about bugs, as the name implies, hopefully.
It is an abstract checker style.
You think checkers?
No, not at all. I would say it's more of an abstract. Oh gosh, what do they call that when you're area control?
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
more of an abstract area control style. Very interesting at first.
It's always interesting, Doug. It never gets not interesting.
Well, it's a very good game, but it takes a couple seconds to kind of.
It's true.
It.
I think it looks pretty. It's a nice 2-player game. That's pretty much why I chose it. So we're gonna put that away. It's to live there. So in Hive, there's 2 different colors, black and white. Well, yeah, black and white. Which color would you like to be, Doug?
I am happy either way.
There's 2 tiles. Pull one out. I don't know what they are.
I chosen the white tiles.
Ha I didn't know it was in it. So, we have different little bugs here. There's, I think, 5 different kinds. We have ants. We have beetles. We have spiders. We have grasshoppers. And then we have our queen bee. There we go. Queen bee. So they're really cool. They're really nice tiles. They feel really good. The way the game is played is that we will place one of our tiles down. Within the first 4 turns, we have to place our queen bee.
That's correct.
Because the game ends when our queen is surrounded by things. Doesn't matter what color. If she's completely surrounded, we lose. That is how that works.
And what makes the game so interesting is every single piece has an extremely different move style. The grasshoppers, they move any direction, jumping over all of the tiles in between, but they can't jump over empty tiles. And that's important because as this board grows, it looks like a beehive with chunks missing out of it.
You think that's why it's called the Hive?
I don't know.
Okay. We'll have to do some more
assume.
research.
I'll have to check. The ants can move. They're kind of like your rooks in that they can move around the board as far as they can. Some things may get in the way, such as pieces set in a specific pattern that prevent the piece from getting in between, because in this game, and it's important, is that when the tiles are set up, the 2 corners can be near each other like this, and if your piece can't move in between them straight on the board, so here, I'll see if
I can move things.
Bryce can grab a, yeah. So if the piece can't slide through straight on the board, it can't move in there. So that prevents ants from moving the way that they might need to move. Spiders are very interesting in that they move from wherever they're at exactly 3 spaces in either direction. But that can be really interesting because in this case, 3 spaces looks like this. So you're here, 1, 2, 3. But if you've got another tile there, then 3 spaces looks like 1, 2, 3. So that's how spiders work, is they move 3 spaces in any direction. And then your beetles are really interesting. They move 1 space anywhere, even on top of another tile, which is neat because in the purpose of the game, if my beetle ends up on top of one of Bryce's tiles, for all intents and purposes in the game, this is now my tile stack. So Bryce can't move the piece underneath it, and he also can't place any of his tiles next to it because now it's considered a white tile. And then you've got the queen, can move 1 space any direction, not on top of anything. And if at any time, even if it's with our own pieces, if the queen gets surrounded, the queen bee, then we lose the game. And that is pretty much a rundown.
That's
of
Hive?
it. That's the whole game. And it seems a little bit complicated at first. It kind of is, and then all of a sudden it all comes together.
It just clicks.
And then, did you want to go first?
You can go ahead and go first.
Okay,
I went
good.
first last game.
Well, then I'm going to start with my beetle.
Rude. Beetles are jerks. So on your turn, you can place a tile down.
I'm going to try and get this more in the center for you. I'm looking at the camera.
You fool!
That's right.
You can place a tile, or you can move a tile, I believe, right?
On your turn, you can choose to place a tile or move a tile, and only the first turn can you place your tile adjacent to or connecting to an opposing color's tile. So after the first turn, your tiles can only be, when you place them, can only be touching your color.
So what happens if you move? If I place something and you move a beetle on top of it? Because now it's not my first turn anymore.
That is a super good question. I assume that you have to be able to place on that as well. Yeah.
Okay. So everyone is aware. I'm sorry we couldn't get. There's a really not a whole lot of 2-player love themed games.
Yeah, that is correct. Yes.
So the one I found that I really wanted to get, I'm going to.
And I agree with you, actual Dracus. They are extra friendly.
So friendly.
Yes.
Right, my beetle's gonna eat your beetle. That's my turn.
So on my turn, I can now choose to play another tile, or I can choose to move a tile that's already on the board. In this case, I'm going to play another tile, and that is going to be a spider. And remember, both Bryce and I must place our queens on the board before, or I should say on or before our 4th turn. So I'm now 2 turns in.
I'm going to play an ant.
Classic mistake. Everybody drops the ants fast.
I dropped a ant!
So in this case, in an effort to show you kind of the game a little bit, which I realize is a little tough due to the camera angle, I can now no longer move this beetle because at no point in the game can I move a piece that severs the hive.
No bug is an island.
So that can no longer happen. So ask me why I played that. I played it so that I could represent what happens when you do something like that. In this case, I'm going to be moving my spider rather than placing a piece. So 1, 2, and then 3. There my spider goes. And that makes my 3rd turn.
I know what you did.
You see the trick?
Oh. I do. Over here. Because I can't touch yours at all. So, beetle looks that way.
Okay, and on my turn, because it is my 4th turn, I must place my queen.
And then it means it's my 4th turn, so I must also place my queen. So, there's one game I found, 2-player game, romantically themed. It's called And Then We Held Hands.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
I hadn't heard of it either until I started looking for Valentine's themed games. Sadly, it's super out of print. It looks super cute. By the way, the pause was because it's ellipses, and then we held hands.
Okay, got it. It's important, yes.
Yeah, it's like,
Dot,
oh.
dot, dot.
Yeah, it's so cute. You play like in these steam balloons or something, and you're trying to like get each other to a certain point by lifting each other up. It's like, oh, really cute. It's also like $100 a copy for a small little game like this.
Interesting.
Yeah, out of print games are rough.
I'm going to move my beetle upon your beetle.
I am shocked and surprised by this turn of events.
So here's where it gets exciting, guys. My beetle is going to go on top of Bryce's ant and beetle.
Exciting means different things to people. But because here's where it gets exciting for me.
That's exactly right. So on my turn, I'm going to place my grasshopper right here.
Interesting. The stack is so big. That's right, and I can't leave your things orphaned either. Boop.
There you go. For my turn, I'm going to take my grasshopper and I'm going to leap it over here. Cool. On my go, I'm going to go ahead and take the grasshopper and put it right next to my
Ant?
queen bee.
Do you want ant or a grasshopper?
I'm sorry, ant.
Okay.
I'm going to place my ant next to my queen bee. And
I'll place a grasshopper.
Take my ant and I'm going to run it all the way next to
I see.
Bryce's queen.
Because that's 2 people.
Now this is important because since his queen can move anywhere, one space anywhere the queen wants, except not on top of other pieces, but you can't lift the piece. So the piece has to be able to slide at this point. Bryce's queen can't move anywhere.
Yep.
Until he makes some decisions about his beetles.
Never hurt my beetles. Because then you can just lock my beetle down.
Please don't hover like that.
I'm thinking about moving this grasshopper. And he's going to jump this entire stack and hang out right next to here.
There you go. I'm going to take my other ant and place it next to my grasshopper.
Now, place my spider there. Maybe get some spider legs going on.
I'm going to take my last ant and place it right next to my spider.
I'm going to place my grasshopper here.
No, I'm going to move my ant right there next to Bryce's.
See, I knew I made a mistake, and I was like, what should I do? And then I lost. So I've lost this game, but I'll play it out so you guys can see how I'm about to lose. So I can't really do a whole lot. Because there's no way I can block his ant from getting right here. Besides putting something there, but...
Well, if you go... I can't see very well.
I figure that one stack is so tall.
2, so you move from here. One space,
good call, good
second
call.
space, then third space.
Now you
What
can't
it
leave me
does
orphaned.
Is he's effectively locked in my ant. I play this game a lot.
I could tell.
Yes.
I have not played this game in years.
So,
But I'm not going to do that because that was your play.
I don't mind. I mean, the better you get at this game, the better I have to learn to get at this game.
Fine. I will accept this spider movement.
And like a lot of board games, I prefer playing them over winning them.
Yeah.
The longer I get to play, the more fun it is. So on my turn, that changes, obviously, my play, because in a normal game, I would have just moved my ant, which I can't do any longer. So the question is what can I do that is much more difficult for me to do anything about? I think I'm going to give it a shot and see where it goes. I'm going to take my grasshopper and I'm going to place it right here. And you've got a clear...
Trying to figure out, is there a way? So, 1, 2...
Definitely don't want to do that.
Why?
You have to move 3, and that's going to put you there and surround your...
No, I was... Oh, you have to move 3? I can't just move 2?
You must...
Never mind then.
Must
I'll only
three.
move 2.
Yeah. This is where the game starts to get exciting for me.
Yeah, God, I don't even know what I could do. So, I could jump my grasshopper all the way over here.
You can.
But that's not going to save me the game. I could move my spider here. That loses me the game.
Loses you the game.
I could place one of my ants or grasshopper on this tile, but that doesn't save the game. I could put him here. That doesn't save the game. I could put him like anywhere around here, but that still doesn't save the game because I have no way of blocking this grasshopper from jumping to this hole.
So grasshoppers like to move in straight lines. So my grasshopper wants to go right here next turn, which ends the game. But my grasshopper can also jump over here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important because that means on your turn, your grasshopper can also jump there.
Which again then makes it so you can't jump your grasshopper.
That's correct. Now it did 2 things for me. One, I needed that grasshopper out of the way so I could unsurround my queen bee.
Yeah. Doug is way better at this game than me. I need to play this more, apparently. That's what I've learned.
This is I really, really enjoy this game.
It's a really good game. If you can't see the box, you see how there's like this is the picture of it? Everything on the side here is awards.
Nothing but awards.
Nothing but awards that it's won. Because it's intense. Is it a Spiel game? No. God, I hope not. You're going to get real good at it. It's a Spiel hits. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's probably... So for my turn, guys, I'm going to go ahead and grab my beetle. And I'm going to sink him right next to this pretty little ant right there.
Okay. So, I think I've got how I should be doing this. I think. Because I can go 1, 2, 3.
That's exactly right.
Which then means you can't move either of those 2.
So then on my turn, I'm going to take my grasshopper and I'm going to sink him right there. In case you guys can't hear, Sharon's giggling over there in the corner.
So Bortos happens to be one of our closest friends, and usually we play strategy games with him, and it's rough. It's rough. Having not played this specific strategy game in so long, I'm like, pieces? Bugs? All right, is there a way to save this? Because I need to get a piece over here, but I can't do that. No.
Yeah, this is a rough one.
Guys, don't help me on this time, Doug. You already gave me 2, so
I'm enjoying playing, so for me, that's the...
Well, if we get through it, we can see if they want to watch us play another game of this, or there's another game we haven't even showed you.
Absolutely.
All right. So if I move my spider,
So he's thinking, do these inspire you to go out and play any 2-player games, guys, or is 2-player not quite your guys' jam? I happen to really, really enjoy 2-player games. It's quite often that I play a lot of multiplayer games, 4, 5, 6 people, and it's exciting and it's fun, but I don't get to spend quality time with the other person, and that includes my friends and stuff like that. Sometimes sitting down in a 2-player game, being able to think, drink a beer, really talk to my friends and stuff is something that I dig. I really enjoy 2-player games. How do you guys feel about that?
so because he can't go forward like we talked about, he can't even move that way.
He absolutely can, but that's one move, and then
So one.
and then 2.
Oh, okay. So we could do that?
Yeah, so it would go 1, 2,
Okay.
3, but he can't get in because it has to.
Yeah.
But I'm not certain that's the best play.
It's not. I was just looking at it, like, make sure that's what I need to do. Or if it's an option. Let's see. Because I can't play a thing and connect it to any of yours.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I'm used to Beatles doing a lot more in the game than what they've done in this game.
Well, I mean, you locked both my beetles down, and I only locked one of yours down. I should have unblocked it earlier,
Awesome.
but
See? Board gets me.
he does. He's also a nerd, so I mean,
Perfect,
that's
yeah.
fair. You know what? I can't see what I need to do apparently. So I'm going to I think I'm just gonna move my spider.
Gonna move a spider.
I think so.
There's nothing wrong with moving a spider.
I mean, I can't see how to not lose.
The tough part is there's 2 pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what makes it
Like, now, this spider has this guy locked down.
correct.
That's cool. But there's no way to lock down this grasshopper that I can see.
Well, you can lock down the grasshopper. You just stop locking down the beetle. That's the tough part.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and my grasshoppers can both jump to the same spot, which doesn't help me. So, yeah, I'm just gonna. Only I beat me.
Turns out he can no longer move his queen. And then my grasshopper's going to drop right in there.
And she is surrounded, which means I lose. That's rough. Like,
I love this game a lot.
it is such a good game. I've always loved Hive. There was a point where we would just sit around and play it a lot because it was this and Dominion. So there's nothing wrong with playing with people who are better at strategy.
So I tend to, there's some games, still to this day, I'm not the best at. And my favorite thing to do is to figure out some strategy that's way different and to just really commit to it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Or some games that I'm really good at, like Lords of Waterdeep. I really love Lords of Waterdeep.
Really?
Really solid at that game. But one time I decided, hopefully you guys have played Lords of Waterdeep. If not, you really need to. I decided to try and acquire all of the orange fighter cubes in the game so that nobody else could use them and see what happened.
I don't know why everyone's saying 2. I'm very confused.
There's a poll.
Oh, okay. What was the poll?
You said that they should pick what they wanted to see.
Oh, we have one more. We have one more game.
Another game or something else. So I put up a poll for both of the games you've already played and for a new game.
Oh, what's 2 then?
The Hive.
Oh, okay, so they just want to see me get my butt whooped.
Apparently.
Apparently, all right. Well,
Which color would you like to be?
you know, I don't. We're going. This time they're all in there.
Truly random.
So I will be. I will be white this time.
There you go.
I don't remember who goes first. I don't know if it matters.
If it's like chess, a white goes first, but it's all the same to me.
Well,
I am perfectly content with going first or second, so you can choose.
I will go first this time because I lost. And Magic has taught me that it helps. It doesn't.
It helps.
Well, I want to thank you for bringing back down the games, but
That's all good.
we'll have another day where we have super sweet themes.
All right, guys. Last time we let you guys play a little bit more. So then for you guys, I will let you choose whether or not I'm going to play which turn I play my Queen Bee on.
Ooh. He's that good that he's letting you decide.
I didn't say that. I'm just excited for the participation. I have to play it on my 4th turn or earlier. So if you just pick 1st through 4, and then have we decided I'm going first?
Oh, I'm going first.
Oh, sounds good.
Because I lost.
That sounds good.
So
while they're deciding when I'm going to play mine, you play whatever you like.
well, I'll play a beetle because the guy who beat me did that first.
The Beetle's a good one. I like that start. I like to start with Beetles because they're very slow moving, and really the key part about Beetles is being able to stop an opponent's piece while turning the column your color. The bigger the Hive get, the less useful they are because they end up being too far away from the action. So the earlier in the game for Beetles for me is that's
okay.
So
that makes sense.
That's my jam. So 2 people have chosen.
3 people.
3. All right.
Looks like. I mean, it's not turn 1. That's what I've gotten from this so far. Right, Shane?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not playing it on turn 1, but it looks like turn 2 and turn 3 are jammed. So I'm gonna, instead of choosing the Beetle, I'm gonna go with the Grasshopper for this round.
Interesting.
It looks like we're tied for turn 2 and turn 3.
I think I'm gonna put one of my Mamma Jamma spiders down.
It's a good call. I dig it. So now it's turn 2. Oh, looks like turn 2, 3 to 2.
What are we looking at?
You can see it, right?
Yeah. So it looks like I'm playing my queen right
Yeah,
now.
you're playing your queen.
Bam.
All right, there's a queen. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3.
That play makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the Beetle.
No, my boodle. All right, what are you gonna do here, spider friend? You are going to prepare for war.
Oh, good call. I like that.
Beetle on beetle crime.
So while we're doing that, I'm gonna put the ant down right here.
Okay.
And this, I believe, makes you turn 4. You must play.
Yeah, I gotta play this here. Queen bee. Should go here. Burp. Well, actually, I think that was turn 5.
I think that was turn 5.
Yeah, I apologize. I cheat when I lose at games. Apparently, that's
my turn.
yeah. Queen bee's down. Yep.
If and let me know if you want me to rewind anything or anything like that.
Not gonna lie.
Hesitate.
I totally forgot how ants moved.
Yeah, they move as far in a direction as they want.
Hey, just doing ant things. Hmm. put that ant there. I don't know what he's gonna do. Probably lose me the game. That's okay.
Interesting. I cannot do a lot with that.
Good, I think. So many bugs, so little time.
That was a good play. I did not expect that.
That's the secret. I didn't know
that was
what to
really-
do.
It's really good.
Wieldian.
It's this big row up the center.
Yeah, I know. I'm afraid of
Yeah.
it. There's just. All right, so let's go with Ant there. You can't see him. He's hiding out behind the tower. He knows what he's doing, though. He's just spider friend.
Okay, there you go. That is very solid, and I think you just win the game.
I'm a Hive shark. I didn't tell you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's really good.
I don't know if there's any way to stop
Well, I
that.
mean, because the beetle stack is the no good game. There's nothing I can do about that, except for keep my beetles away from your beetles because that's dumb. Now here's the question, and I can't remember because I
know what? Yeah, that.
can we. How high can we stack beetles?
I think they're infinite beetles.
That's an intriguing.
Infinite
question.
beetles. There's only 4 beetles in the game, so
Yeah.
they're not really infinite.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that would be a 5 beetle stack because you'd have something that a beetle goes on, and then beetle, beetle, beetle.
I think so.
I think mosquitoes stack too, but that's a
Grab
whole
really
different
quick.
thing.
Do you want to get another game?
Yeah, let's go. Let's play another game.
Okay.
Apparently, people like seeing this, and I do think you would have won if I had actually played my queen instead of moving the spider. Because remember, I played my queen on the 5th turn on accident.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either, but
It was fun.
yeah,
Do we have the?
rules
I
are there.
do. Let me-
Is that French rules?
No.
Okay.
Let me check really fast on the beetle. Now this is a blast. That big straight line
Yeah.
is what.
Beetles
Okay.
all the way across the sky.
And it was fun because that took me out of my normal play zone. Generally, I don't play my queen that early in the game.
Didn't
So
you
that
play it
was
on?
really-
Oh, you played on turn 2. Yeah.
Usually I don't, so that's really fun. Okay, guys. And again, if you guys want, I will start with my queen.
Ooh.
Let's see what happens.
I mean, I'm gonna play a beetle.
Fine. I will also play a beetle.
I won't beetle your queen.
Of course.
I'm willing to make that risk.
Now I don't think you can play a piece.
We talked about that.
Does
Does
but
it say?
in this case, yeah,
So that's just a
really-
game over?
I don't know.
Like, it's like, all right,
That's
well,
interesting, yeah.
reroll it, boys. You know, I really like it as a strategy game, Dracus. It's also, it feels good. I don't know how into, like, quality of pieces you are, but, like, they clink really nice. They're like a nice set of dominoes. It's usually something that'll sell me on a game. Is like, how do I like the pieces? Do I like the feel? If you haven't played it yet, try Splendor. Their poker chips are nicely weighted. I mean, they're gems, but they're poker chips with pictures of gems on them, and it's so much fun to just clink them together like you're a miser holding all your gems.
They are really good pieces. It does not specifically state. It just says a piece with a beetle on top of it is unable to move, and for the purposes of placing rules, page 2, the stack takes on the color of the beetle.
Huh.
Well, good game.
Yep, good game, Mark.
That's really, really strange.
I bet you it's in the errata. Like, because that's a weird... And I would not be surprised if this happened super often. Because it's just, I put my beetle on top of your one piece. What do you do?
Yeah, that's super. Okay, we'll just pretend
Okay.
like that's okay, and then you can just place because you have no other option.
I support that.
Yeah, this...
Let's go ahead and put one spider down.
I think that's a good call. I'm going to go ahead and put an ant down.
Interesting. I am going to put a grasshopper down.
You have to place your queen.
Oh, thank you. See?
Yes.
Trying not to cheat. Keep me honest, Sharon. That's what you do. I feel like we've run into this trap before.
Kind of.
the beetle on beetle crime trap. I'll play an ant.
I will also play an ant.
I will.
What are you thinking?
I think I'm going to move my ant.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I think we might need to just change this to where you can only stack one. Because let me show you. What's going to happen is you're going to prevent my movement, and we're going to end up with a big string again. Like, I think that we might just need to make the decision that you can only stack one tile.
I wish somebody had access to a computer who could look up errata.
Look up.
If only. If
That'd be
only.
nice.
Yep.
I will look into it, but I think
Yeah,
what's
this is
killing
interesting.
us
Is the double stacking.
is I think we might just need to stop it at one.
I've always played with you could double stack.
It makes sense, except now where it's just going to turn into a big...
Yeah.
Because no matter where I put my piece, anywhere around here,
Uh-huh.
virtually your... Because it's a smart play to put that out there, is going to prevent it, because what it does is it just builds a big string.
Yeah. Yeah. I think let's restart.
Yeah, that sounds good to
And
me.
then beetles can only be on top of one thing.
I 100% agree. And I will also start with my queen still.
Okay.
Because I've never done that before.
Yeah, that's super weird.
So I'm actually very excited about this.
I mean, thanks, Critter Witch. Crit Witch? Crit Witch. We'll go with Crit Witch. All right, so I'm intrigued. So I will also play my queen.
Ooh. There's two queens.
Spicy.
Some queen on queen violence. Let's see here.
Wow, 14 months? Sweet.
I will put my grasshopper.
Ooh.
Of course the beetle comes up.
Yes, do I just beetle? Every time. Beetle?
Beetles are great.
I love
They're
beetles.
definitely early game.
But, no, not grasshopper. Go ant. Ant fam. So, this game is really cool.
I'm going to jump with my grasshopper.
I'm going to ant to that side.
Of course.
There's a couple of expansions to it which are really cool. We have them because of this game coming with it, but we're not gonna play with them because they're a little advanced, I think. I've actually never played with them, so I'm not sure. But it's a ladybug, boop, 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 and a mosquito. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Whatever sound mosquitoes make. Ladybugs go boop, boop, boop.
If I remember properly, the mosquitoes get to take on the characteristics of an insect they're next to.
Cool.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. And then the ladybug, I don't fully remember, but
It's my turn. So
I'm
while you're looking,
it's
I will
Bryce's
go. All right, Queen Bee. I have played a grasshopper.
ladybugs move 3 spaces.
Uh-huh.
2 on top of the hive and 1 off the hive. So
Weird.
you have to move it across 2 other creatures and then into an empty spot.
Ladybugs, how'd you get so crazy?
That's crazy.
You know what? Also, I didn't notice, but this ladybug design happens to be.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's crazy. I have a ladybug tattoo on my part of my bracelet that I showed you earlier.
Just take it over here. It's surprisingly close to the
Yeah, like
ladybug.
it's. There we go. That's good enough. Maybe. I don't know. Either way, it's really crazy. I didn't realize. Well, you moved the spider.
I did. Yep.
I will jump your grasshopper.
Gonna play the grasshopper right there.
How dare you?
See, the Beatles are just getting left out.
I-
Left out of this game.
Too much. There's just too much. I'm going to play ant though. Ant on ant.
Okay, I'm gonna move my grasshopper.
Yeah, right? Isn't it creepy? See, so you got me on 4 sides. I've only got you on 3. But now I got you on 4.
I'm gonna play my spider where you can't.
That's an ant.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay, just want to make sure. I especially when I'm not looking, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play this. That's the wrong thing.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Okay. But now
Yes.
I will move my ant to maroon your ant.
And I can't put it there. Yes, I can. That's where it's gonna go.
All right, team. Team Grasshopper, go. Team Sad, locked in by ant, go. Go, go, spider.
Spider will get there eventually.
I see. Um, 3.
Yep.
What was that about long line of something?
Yeah, it is what it is.
So, Crit Witch, for anybody who's just joining us, this is Doug, a local game store owner, a game store called Terracrux Games. Pretty cool. It's Valentine's Day, so we're playing a bunch of 2-player games. They were going to be more love themed, but they're incredibly hard to find. Love Letters is the only name or only game that I could really find that was really about love stuff, but it's like a 3+ player game.
Yes.
So
You
that
have
did
to
not
have
help.
3 players for Love Letter.
Yeah.
Hello, Crit Witch.
What do you have left?
I have 2 beetles and a grasshopper.
Okay. I have 2 beetles, a spider, a grasshopper, and an ant.
So right now, we ended up with these big strings where we're trying to lock each other down.
Yeah. Go, go, grasshopper.
Interesting. Okay. I'm actually going to take advantage of that.
I figured.
1, 2, 3.
But it was a ploy. A ploy!
I got him. He doesn't know what's coming.
Time to beetle up.
I'm going to go. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
3.
Interesting. What do you have? Freaking beetles.
Beetles will get you.
I know. They're so beetle tricksy. But name. I will put a spider.
Interesting. I did not expect that.
So is there a checkmate in the game? Or a check?
No.
Okay. Because if you do that, I just have moved my ant here.
Oh, yeah. Well, then I guess you won.
What if you didn't do that?
Oh, what if I saw the ant?
Yeah.
Dude, messing with the queens, man. This dropping the queen so early.
So early, it's just like
throwing me off. No,
the game is just centered around this now. It's like you don't have
I didn't realize how placing
them next to each other really hurts.
it's it's really jarred up my game a lot, which is cool. I mean, it's exciting. So if I were to have caught that instead of didn't see it,
So with the queens next to each other, you only need 5 sides blocking.
correct.
And 2 of them are going to block off your buddy. Or on your side.
I don't think there's anything I can do about your ant.
Well, if you don't do this, this won't win me the game.
But it's going to it prevents me. So if I do this, right now the only option I have is mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
To get something in here, and then we both die at the same time.
We have a beetle left?
Yeah, but I've got to get the beetle there.
Well, and that was my plan.
Well, here's the tough part: is that even if I get the beetle in there, even if I get on top of your stuff with my beetle, it's still surrounding me.
Yeah.
So no matter.
Well, no. So this is here.
Yeah.
So my thought is, and what I was going to do is just like build a couple, and then once I move this here, just slowly walk the beetle over, because he could walk on other people. And so, yeah, Dracus, those couples games are for off stream. Yeah.
Yeah, this won't prevent you because I can still slide in.
Mm-hmm. But then you're in the control of this one other open square. That's the thing, is the only way I win is if you put something in there right now.
Okay, I will attempt to play it out.
Okay. I mean, we don't have to. We can just start again.
No.
We got time.
It's very interesting. I don't think there's much. I'll play this instead of moving the grasshopper.
Because I'm in a similar situation.
Actually, I'll move that to here instead, now that I'm thinking. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So I moved my spider here because now he's got 3 of his guys trapped. The 2 ants and a beetle. So... Yeah, see, I think this is how you win. Or mutually, yeah. So
Yeah, do you see
yeah,
what
I
I'm
have to
saying? Yeah.
mutually assure destruction
Pretty
because
much.
I'll go here.
And then I tank here.
Yeah.
And unless I can figure out a way to force you to move guys away from mine,
But well, like, why would I?
That's what I'm trying to. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's a draw.
Interesting.
I've never seen a draw of Hive before.
That's what two queens at the beginning will do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you guys want us to play another round of Hive, or
Are you saying wrap it up?
No, I'm saying new game.
Okay.
new game?
New game.
New game.
So we do another game. Patchwork. Let's do the other one you brought because I think that'll be an interesting thing. I'd never heard of it. It's pretty cool.
Is it Onitama?
Yeah. Let's do
Okay,
some
the game-
Onitama.
The game that I brought in, another 2-player game, is
They're all 2-player games. Just
Onitama. It is a really interesting, I like to say checker style game, except every game that you play has a different set of moves you can use. I'll open it up and I'll show you guys. It's a really, really good game.
So as always, board games are really cool.
Yeah.
We like playing board games here. If you want to go ahead and visit the Discord, we have some polls up of what board games we're going to be playing. I think right now for the month, the poll is for the month of April, and as we all know, April brings some showers. So it's all rain-themed games, or clouds, or weather control. I did what I could. Are you gonna ask me what color?
Seasons, yeah, which color
Okay.
do you want to be?
I don't care.
Okay.
So it's all seasony type of stuffs. Right now, winning is a game called Petrichor, which I've never played but looks super cool. I almost can't tell you anything about besides the fact that Petrichor is that smell that happens when it rains. Smells super interesting and earthy. And that is Petrichor. And so it's all about rain and controlling the stuffs. So that's what's up now. The previous winner was Takanoko. So we will be playing that in what, 2 weeks? I'm asking Sharon because she's better at timing.
Yeah, but not like a lot better.
Oh no, because in 2 weeks it's Azul.
Yes.
So
2 weeks
next
is Azul.
week Pandemic, then Azul, then Takanoko.
Takanoko was
No, never mind, it's another tabletop game. I don't know. It's coming up. We have it listed in a Discord. Go visit.
March 12th.
March 12th is what I've been told by the producer. So March 12th is when we'll be playing Takanoko. We're going to play some pandas. We're going to eat some bamboo. We're going to do stupid things with a garden.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, Doug, you've played it. I haven't. Explain me the rules.
Okay, this game is Onitama, and you start with 5 pieces on each side of the board, and each side of the board has got in the center tile a school represented on it. And for the red school, there's a red guy, red master, and for the blue school, there's a blue master. And then you've got 4 students each. The board is a really nice neoprene. Oh yeah, really, really high. Everything about this game is really solid quality. And the way the game works is much like checkers, where your object of the game is to either take out the opponent's master, and that happens by you placing any of your pieces on the same tile as the master, or by getting your master on the opponent's school. Those are the 2 ways to win. And the moves that are able to be used come out of this whole stack of cards. And for this game, we're only going to be using 5 of these cards, and that's standard for every game. So these 2 moves that I'm handing Bryce are going to be his.
Interesting.
These 2 are going to be mine. And then there is a 5th one that is going to go in between the 2 boards and get set just like this. So I'll put it in a way where you guys can see it. For my 2 moves, I have the eel and I have the ox. And on the card, in the center of them, you'll see that there is a little black dot. And that black dot represents your teacher or your students. And then they can take one of those maneuvers. So in this case, for the ox, I can take one person and I can move them a square up, a square down, or a square to the, which card am I looking at?
Right.
To the right. And then the eel. You can see how that card functions. So when I choose to make a maneuver, in this case, it is going to be I would select whichever one I'd like to use. So in this case, we're going to say that this piece or this card is actually on this side of the board, and that does matter. And I'll go into details in a second. And for Bryce's 2 maneuvers,
I have the crab and the rabbit. So
And-
they do things.
so on my turn, I have got 2 cards that allow me to move pieces forward. And one of the things I really, really love about this game is, and it may not represent really well on camera, but when you see the little dot right there, you guys can see really clearly that one of my pieces can move into those squares as it represents on the card. So from your angle, you can see that it's going to be able to move.
God hands. God hands.
Perfect.
Still good?
Oh, yeah, no, that's
Easy.
perfect.
Yeah, easy. So
You guys can see things.
from my perspective, it looks like one of the pieces can move diagonally towards me to the left, diagonally away from me to the left, or one space to the right. From your guys' perspective, it's moving the exact same. The reason I'm saying all this right now, I apologize, is because no matter which direction you're looking at the cards, you can see represented from your perspective where the pieces are going to move. They did a really good job at all of the players, including bystanders, can see where the pieces are going to move without needing to try and spin it in your head which direction it's going to go. So, for example, 2 of these pieces allow my guys, which are on the back row, to move forward. What I'm going to choose to do is to take my furthest student, and I'm going to move him forward 1 using my ox move. Now, this ox move is going to then move to this side of the board in between Bryce and I am going to then acquire monkey. On Bryce's turn, he can use either crab or the rabbit, which are the 2 moves represented in front of him, and after he chooses a move, that move then goes in between the 2 of us and he acquires ox. So for the entire game, these 5 moves are all that we're going to use, and once you use it, you're giving that to your opponent. And that's the entirety of the game. And then we play. So
Let's do it.
let's do it.
Are you fine with that ox move?
That's exactly what I want to do.
Excellent. Then I'm going to move this student this diagonal with rabbit.
Perfect.
Then I get to be an ox.
And you acquire ox.
Also my Chinese zodiac sign.
Well, there you go. In this case, I'm going to move eel, my student, here, and eel goes in the middle, and I acquire rabbit.
I will move crab forward 1. Then I become eel. Elox.
I'm going to take my student to the far left of the board and move him diagonally forward 1 for rabbit, and slide that and take the crab card. And hopefully you guys are, actually, I'm looking at the screen. It looks like you can see the maneuvers pretty clearly.
Yeah.
Maybe we can flip this. Yeah, if I flip this card towards the orientation of the person that's going to get it. There you guys go. That way you can see the maneuver as it's going to impact the board. After Bryce.
I hope that helps.
Yeah.
I'm going to ox forward.
And then in this case,
Oop.
in this case, here's where it gets really interesting is now that our pieces are starting to get on the board, I've got to see what maneuvers my opponent can make. So for me, if I crab forward here, I can see that he's got a card that will allow him to take my student with his student right here. So this is where the game starts getting exciting is I have to start making my moves based on what I can see my opponent can do. And also what move I'm going to give him can impact this. So I'm going to use crab to move.
Of course you are.
Well, it's interesting because if I move here, you can take my guy. If I move here, you can take my guy. If I move here, you can take my guy. So crab becomes not incredibly helpful. But I can jump my master 2 spaces over.
Okay. So when you're jumping, does it have to be clear, or can you jump a dude?
You can jump over a dude.
Okay.
Yes.
Jump in, people. Let's see. So don't forget your ox.
Oh yeah, take my ox card.
I'm going to eel one to the side. Then I'll pick up my crab.
Let's see here.
Does it make sense, Dracus? No. What do you think?
It makes sense. It's all. I am going to. This is rough.
I don't play with any strategy. Yeah, it's really strategically. It's weird. I like it a lot, but it's weird. It takes a second to wrap my head around. I'm like, oh, okay, now I see what's going on.
It's one of those interesting games where, and the cool part is the box says about 15 minutes, and the game truly is about
15 minutes.
Even when you spend time thinking, like right now, to fill you guys in there, I've got a piece that can move me forward, any of my guys forward, and which is what I ultimately want to do is push my guys forward. But he has a piece that can move his guys directly forward, and a piece that can move his guy here forward and to his, it would be to his right or to my left. And so I'm trying to figure out how to get a piece in to not get taken next turn. And it's difficult. He's got a very interesting positioning right now. So in this case, I'm not sure how well you guys can see, but he's got a piece that can move him directly forward, and I have nothing in front of my board that allows me to attack forward.
Crap.
And then you get to take. Okay, and in this case, I'm finally going to be able to move this guy. Actually, that's not a good.
Dun dun dun. I think Sharon's Chinese zodiac is a snake, but I always forget.
Horse.
She's a horse. That's why her head's shaved like that.
I'm an iron horse.
She's an iron horse.
I think I'm a rat.
I think you're honest.
It's a rat or a boar. I don't know.
But there is a pig, so you could be a pig. When's your birthday? Or what year? I don't care about your birthday.
84.
84. So I'm pretending like I know. I don't know. I know it's the one before mine. So
Okay. Okay, so we're at that point.
So you're aware, everyone. 85 is an ox.
85 is Nox.
85 is an ox. I want to say like I'm an earth ox or something stupid like that. It's like that doubling down on stubborn.
I'm going to use the eel.
Okay.
And pass the eel off, and I'm going to take the crab.
Interesting. So, I'm all about sacrificing students. There's no reason not to.
The name of the game, sacrificing students.
So we're gonna just go ahead and take that guy.
That's fine.
Using the ox. Whoop. 84 is a rat. Oh yeah, good call.
There you go. I am a rat, yeah. I am a dirty rat.
Dirty rat. There's nothing wrong with rats, by the way. Just over the way. Just putting it out there. Oh, that means you're 36 this year, yeah.
I think that sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, because it's in 12s.
Correct, yes.
Did you go looking for any monkey shines?
No, I've never done that, and I hear it's fantastic.
I don't care about them unless it's my birth year, or it's the year that they get. Like I don't care about getting a snake or a rat because you're not supposed to give them away. So looping everybody back in. So monkey shines are a thing that they do in Tacoma, Washington, where we are. It's local glass blowers will create a bunch of ornaments and symbols of whatever the Lunar New Year is. Then they hide them throughout the city. So it's supposed to be incredibly good luck if you find one. So it's really cool to go out and hunt for them and look for them on the Lunar New Year because you get one with your birth year on it or your zodiac sign on it, and that's really cool. So But you can't give them away because that's like you're taking your luck that you found and just giving it to someone. It just doesn't. It doesn't
Interesting.
translate
Okay,
well. See, there you go. Found a bottle with the rooster charm on it because she had that thing.
That's awesome.
It was the year of the rooster. It was last year, I think, or the year before. I don't know, Sharon. You have a voice.
You can hear me really well.
She said multiple years ago. You really need a god mic.
Do I have an 84 in my name?
No, Paximo does.
Oh.
Let's see here. So you have 2 forward movements. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like it.
I know. But I have sacrificial pawn using the rabbit. Getting a monkey. So now you can take my home skillet. But you'll never take my master.
This is getting nuts. Go ahead and take this guy.
Here's your monkey.
Thank you.
I use crab.
Oh my gosh. Crab will go here.
Interesting. There, purple, going forward. How about eel?
There you go.
Patch, you're so creative in other ways that it's okay. I never also found out the story of Paximo, so at one point I'll have to ask. That might be a thing I have to do.
There you go.
All right.
Eel.
What's up, rabbit?
There you go.
Tell that to the stories you've written. And there's always got to be stories. All handles have a story.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see here.
Them's the rules. So you see what I did there?
No, actually, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, okay. That's why I feel bad.
Oh, okay.
I pushed my guys in a way because I could get the diagonal moves.
Uh-huh.
So. Because I know we're communicating and stuff a lot, but I would have felt bad if I hadn't shown you kind of what I said
Wait,
out there.
sorry.
The way that you were pushing your pieces over, so I've got my guys set up to where virtually.
I see.
My yeah.
Gotcha.
I thought I would take a second to let you know what I was doing.
No, that makes sense. Thank you. I'm going to move this guy here using monkey.
Yeah, cool. And yeah, that's perfect. It's getting exciting.
Let's see. So I will move ox. Oh wait, she was telling me stories. No. Wait, I was trying to make a joke in Latin and be peace and love.
So it was really interesting, guys. The last time that the last time that I played games with all you guys, we were talking afterwards about the possibility of writing down a list of random topics to bring up in times like this when we're being a little bit quieter and thinking. And So we had written a few down and decided, hey, let's talk about, what are some quick one-offs that we could say. What about you guys? Is there anything you want to have us chat about, or any random questions, or any not too esoteric topics to keep things, jovial and light, to kind of fill in the space of us thinking while we're trying to play the game.
We're on stream. It's an AMA. You could ask us anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be appropriate because, we're streaming into Doug's store. We also are streaming, so let's not be jerks and ask us weird questions.
Yeah. We're open to answering questions and, talking about more sandwich talk.
What did you just move?
More sandwich. I just moved this guy here. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Can you leave yourself in effectively check with eel to here?
Oh, holy crap. No, I probably just would lost the game. That's what I did.
Okay.
Yes, you can definitely do that. Like, you could totally not pay attention to what your opponent can do and not.
So you can't, there's no, you can't move yourself in the check position.
No, what should have happened is I should have used Ox is what you gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was thinking about.
Oh, that's fine. Let's go ahead and take it back because we're communicating with. Man, now I want a sandwich. Sharon, can we get sandwiches for dinner?
Sure.
Yeah.
What I should have done is moved there instead of there.
Ox. Or crab.
Move forward. Holy moly, where am I? Oh, there.
Solid.
Sorry, it was in my head.
No, you're good. That's why I was just pretty sure.
I should have used the same move to do that. You were 100% correct. Trying to pay attention to multiple things while playing a game is a new skill.
Right?
Entirely.
We talked about this last stream because we were like, no, it's really hard to interact with chat while playing a game, while also making sure you're in the right line.
Yes.
Because, wait.
I think you need shadows for that to work.
Nah. They know the face. They know.
It works. It works.
Oh, that just looked weird. All right, what can I do? I've got an eel and a crab. So
right now, both of us are trying to look at what the maneuvers that are going to come to us are and what the opponent can do afterwards. I'm down to two pieces. Now, I'm going to say this, which normally I wouldn't, because I don't believe that he's realized that when I mentioned at the beginning of the game there's two ways to win, take out the opponent's master or get to the school. I'm very clearly trying to run my master at his school.
Oh, I did. It's just what can I, I'm trying to figure out how to get that student out of the way so my master can run free. And so I need you to burn certain cards.
Also not giving me cards that are going to help me jump.
Exactly. So...
Because I would just love it if you gave me that crab.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm like, I can't let you have this crab. So instead, I will just have to settle for eel. Eeling back and putting me in the same defensive position. And then taking this monkey.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move my master. Wait, what am I going to do? I am going to move my master forward and spin the ox.
Interesting. I didn't see that one coming, guys. I didn't. But now, he's going to the corner. I'll pin him down with the monkey.
And my master, still pretty rambunctious in this old age, is going to go ahead and not do that.
Yeah.
Not the move I'm going to actually make.
He was waiting. He's lurking.
Let's, that was a really good play. I'm going to
I'm going to get a Philly cheesesteak.
I'm going to go ahead and move here with my eel.
Okay. So get a monkey. Sadly, the only places open when we get off are fast food places and Subway. So it's going to be a Subway Philly cheesesteak, which, man, what you going to do? All right, so I got to move.
We had a really cool Philly cheesesteak place here in town.
We got a bunch.
And then, as we mentioned earlier today, Di Loretto's cafe down the street from my store is pretty fantastic. There's a lot of Tacoma's got some pretty solid food options.
Yeah.
There's also
So
this,
does Seattle.
say that again.
Seattle too.
Yeah. There's this interesting new trend. I don't know if it's new. It's new to me. Called gastropubs.
Yeah.
Where you have these bar/pubs that serve really, really good food.
Using crap.
Sounds exciting. And so that's taken off here in Tacoma. So there's some really good. I like it. So I believe.
Pax, are you going to ship me a sandwich? Because if you ship me a sandwich, I'll hold off. But if you're not shipping me a sandwich, I got to get a Philly cheese fix somewhere that is open at 9 o'clock at night.
I think he just won. Yeah, there's nothing I can do.
That's what I thought. I was like, I'm pretty sure we have enough diagonal movement. I can get there. And if not, I can hold you off on that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't have a good answer for that game. There's several turns. So the biggest down point was all the maneuvers that I got just forced me to move back and forth over and over again.
Yeah.
Because you had that. And then when I finally was like, screw it, we need to get this moving. That's really what it was, is one of us finally had to push forward and get it going. And that was, and it turned out whoever did it first was going to lose more pieces. So I lost. It's a good game.
Okay.
I really like this game a lot. And we only got to see a little
Yeah,
bit.
we have 5 out of how many cards?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It looks like 16 cards, and there's 2 expansions. And some of these are really, really interesting cards
Oh, wow.
that we didn't get to.
Yeah, they're really crazy. I'm going to put some on the board so you can see them. And also, Pax, you have magical ways. I don't know. Magical time travel. And I've made Philly cheesesteaks before. I need a better griddle. That's one of my biggest downfalls, is that I have only a couple, like, they're large. They're 8 to 10 inches, but they're not the same as a flat top, and it's really hard. What? How big do you think that cast iron is?
We have a bigger one. We have a 15-inch flat.
It's not the same as a flat top because it doesn't evenly distribute the heat. We need a gas range. That's what we need. But that's
You just do it on the hood of your car. Right?
Yes, in
Don't
February.
do that.
yeah, I bet you're right.
Don't
That'll
do
be
that.
fine. All right, guys. So this was Onitama. Super cool game. You also saw us play Patchwork, and you saw us play the Hive. I'm never. How dare you, Pex? I will not rough it when it comes to Philly cheesesteaks. He said, planning on going to Subway to get a Philly cheesesteak, which is not even close to a sandwich, pointed out by Pex. So these are some really cool 2-player games. There obviously are a bunch more.
There's a whole bunch that we didn't get to play or talk about. Lost Cities is really good. Star Realms is a
Star Realms is really
two-player
good.
game.
I really like Jaipur.
Jaipur is very good.
There's a whole lot of games. So if you don't think you have enough people to play with, there's a game for anybody out there.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah. I think we're going to call it an episode. We've been hanging out for a while.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the Discord. We'll always be there. Doug is on there as well. So if you have any questions, you could ping him at TerraCrux in the Discord, I believe, and he'll be able to respond at some point. I mean, running a store is business.
If you also hit the board game night Discord, I tend to pay attention to that. So you'll want to direct the question to me. Otherwise, I think you guys are talking amongst each other, and I don't sometimes grab it. But if you direct it all, I'm usually pretty good about responding to people.
Just ping them in the ZOE board game night, the ZGN channel. Ping me. Don't forget to go and vote for what board game you guys want to see us. Again, Patchwork is winning right now, but there's a bunch of other really cool games on there. All hopefully water themed. It's really hard to find games on theme, but we're going to keep trying to do it. I'm hoping to get some more people on. That will be exciting. Future, I'm going to have an art-based episode where I'm going to hope to get Haley, who you heard mentioned earlier. She doesn't know this yet. I'm bringing it up to Doug right now, so we'll see what if she's up for it. And we're going to have a lot of cool things coming up. Don't forget to tune in to Project Metaverse on Monday at 6. Next week, ZOE Game Night at 6 is going to be our first installment of Pandemic Legacy, or possibly Betrayal at the House on the Hill Legacy. I don't know. We're going to play a Legacy game. We'll probably start it off with a Legacy game and then finish it with a Legacy game. So we'll see how that goes. Legacies! So, I said Planet Metaverse.
And then the week after that, third Thursday of the month. Actually, don't listen to me. Listen to Bryce. He's the man.
I do. I know the things. So, we got a lot of stuff. We have a calendar coming up. Thank you for watching. Sharon's telling me it's time to wrap it up. That's what that thing means. Oh, okay. it's slowly playing the cue, the lights. It's like the lights just start dimming. The music's like. Oh, I'm sorry. I was Planet Metaverse. I like Project Metaverse though. That should be the next season. Project Metaverse. I don't know. That's all I got. What?
It's the previous.
Was it? Man, see, that's where my head is at. As I said, I get up real early. So, anyway, thank you all for tuning in. We can't have this show without you guys. Like, subscribe, smash the bell thing. I don't know. Whatever format you're watching stuff on, do the thing. And thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Doug.
Yeah, anytime.
Thank you, team. We out.